Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Steven, and today I'm going to be reviewing a couple of different laser levels as well as a laser level receiver from a tool company called Kaiweets. And I just want to say right off the bat, if you're looking for a good laser level system that works great without breaking the bank, then this is definitely worth looking into. Alright, well hey you guys, I just want to start off this video by being completely transparent with you. These tools that I'm reviewing today were sent to me for free from Kaiweets for the purpose of doing this review video. Now while they are mine to keep, I'm going to be giving you guys my complete honest opinions and let you know exactly what I think. So the three tools I'm reviewing in today's video are the Kaiweets KT360B rotary laser level, the Kaiweets T03 crosshair laser level, and the Kaiweets LR100G laser receiver. Now you're welcome to stick around and watch the whole video today, but in case you're only interested in seeing me talk about one of these specific tools, I will put timestamps in the description so that way you can click on that and jump to the specific review that you want to see today. And just so you know, I will put Amazon links to each of these tools in the description as well. So first let's talk about the newest laser level that Kaiweets actually just released, the KT360B, which at this moment in time is currently going for $160 on Amazon with an additional $20 off coupon that you can apply at checkout. So like I said, the KT360B is Kaiweets' newest laser level, and this guy, just like the smaller T03, features green laser levels, which is really nice to have in a laser level because it gives you the extra added visibility, especially when you're comparing it to a red laser level. The three different lasers that this laser level features are a 360-degree horizontal laser, a vertical laser, and a plumb dot laser. Now while they do call this a rotary laser level, the laser itself doesn't actually rotate. It just shines in 360 degrees. Now out of the box, the KT360B comes very nicely packaged in this soft zip-up case, where everything feels very nice and secure. Inside the case, Kaiweets includes the laser level, an extra battery, a battery charging block, and a USB Type-C charging cable, a magnetic laser mount, a steel mounting plate for the magnetic laser mounts, and a target plate. The batteries are really easy to swap out by simply pressing down on the bottom, pulling out the old one, and then snapping in the new one. And when you turn on the laser level, the remaining battery life is going to be indicated on the back of the battery. Now Kaiweets says that the battery life should last up to 36 hours on a single charge. And based off of the last 3 weeks that I've been using this thing, I've actually been really impressed with the battery life. It doesn't seem like the battery has really drained at all, at least based off of the battery indicator on the back. Now, even though the battery life is really great on these things, I still really appreciate the fact that they include a second battery with the kit. When you turn on the laser level for the first time, all three lasers are going to be on. Once the laser is on, you can hit the laser button on the side to cycle through the different laser modes. One of the features that I was actually the most excited for with this laser level is actually the plumb dot, and that's where the laser shines a red dot on the floor and on the ceiling. This is something that, as an electrician, I don't use very often, but there are some unique situations where this comes in really handy and can save a ton of time. If you want to use the laser level without the self-leveling, then you can turn it on using the manual mode. To do this, you leave the laser in the locked position and hold down the laser button for about 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, the laser will turn on, but the self-leveling will be off. And this allows you to use the laser level in different situations that you couldn't use it when the self-leveling is turned on, which is really nice in some very specific situations. Pressing the second button on the side of this laser level activates pulse mode, and that just makes this thing compatible when you're using a laser level receiver. Now prior to doing this video, I had never heard of Kaiweets, and so I really had no idea what to expect as far as the quality of their tools go. But when I opened up the package for the first time and took this out of the case, I remember being really taken aback and just overall very impressed at how rugged and well put together this thing feels. Now, like I said, I really have only had this thing for 3 weeks, so this isn't a long-term review, but I have dropped this thing a couple of times and it's holding up just fine. Now the actual green lasers themselves are very nice and bright, and the self-leveling is also very accurate. In the past, I've always used DeWalt red laser levels, so switching to a nice bright green laser level has really been a treat. I've been very impressed with the range of this laser level. Kaiweets says that this laser level has a working range of 98 feet, which if you're using the metric system is 30 meters. I tested the range of this laser level in a space where I could set it up 86 feet away from the opposite wall. And even being so far away from the other wall, the green laser itself was still very visible and very bright. As an electrician, I really like to use a laser level whenever I'm doing any sort of layout. It just ensures very quick, consistent, and accurate results. And the fact that this laser level has a 360-degree laser, it really just makes doing any sort of layout a breeze. Alright, now I want to tell you guys about one area of this laser that I'm not overly impressed with, and that is going to be the mounts. Now typically most laser levels will have a mount where the magnets are arranged vertically, and I think that's a really great setup because it offers a lot of stability, especially against tipping. Now while the magnets on the KT360B's mount are strong, they're arranged in a way that doesn't offer the same stability as other laser levels that I've used, which unfortunately doesn't allow me to put this in all of the same places that I would use another laser level, at least not with the same level of confidence. Now I do want to be clear, in most situations, probably 90% of the time, this thing works just fine and I don't have any issues with it. But there are those special situations where I've been able to use other laser level magnets in the past where I just can't use this one because of the way that the magnets are, or I guess are not arranged, which makes it a little top heavy. Now Kaiweets does go ahead and include the steel mounting plate, which magnetizes to the laser level mount very well. The laser level mount holds on very strong, and whenever I use this thing, I'm completely confident that the laser is not going to fall off. Now I don't know how practical it is to use this thing all the time, to maybe drill holes into the wall and then mount this on, but there's definitely some situations where I could see myself using this, so it is cool that they go ahead and include it with the laser. As a hospital sustaining electrician, one place that I've always attached my magnetic laser level mounts to has been metal door frames, and this thing attaches to those just fine. One place that I was sad to see that I couldn't use this laser level mount on was the corner of a wall. That is a place that in the past I've been able to use with the DeWalt laser level, but unfortunately without that vertical arrangement of the magnets on this thing, I can't do that here. Now oddly enough, while I can't use this laser level mount in every single situation that I used to use other laser levels in, with there being magnets on the bottom of this laser level mount, I can actually use this thing in some new situations that I can't use other laser levels in, which is pretty cool. Now of course you can always use a tripod with this laser level if that's something that you're interested in doing. But one thing that I also want to throw out there is if the magnets on this thing for some reason are an issue for you, you can always buy an aftermarket magnetic laser level mount. With the price of this thing being so inexpensive, especially compared to the competition, even if you were to invest in an aftermarket magnetic laser level mount, you're probably still going to be paying significantly less than you would be buying one of the competitor laser levels. So this is kind of cool. I actually literally just found this while making this video. It looks like Kaiweets is now offering a package deal that comes with the KT360B laser level and a little adapter tripod. Definitely something that might be worth looking into. It looks like it's only $16 more than the laser level itself without the tripod adapter. Alright, so now let's talk about the Kaiweets T03 crosshair green laser level, which is currently coming in at only $56 on Amazon. The Kaiweets T03 crosshair laser level is much smaller than the KT360B, and it features two green lasers, one vertical and one horizontal. Just like the KT360B, the T03 out of the box comes very nicely packaged in a soft zip-up case. Inside the case, you get the laser itself, a pair of AA batteries, the laser mounts, and a target plate. Both lasers also come with a set of instructions as well. Now the batteries on this thing are very easy to replace, and Kaiweets advertises a 16-hour runtime. Just like the KT360B, you turn the laser on by sliding it to the unlock position, and this will release the self-leveling mechanism. With the laser turned on, you can press the green button on the top to cycle between 4 different levels of brightness. This is a really nice feature to have, especially to prolong the battery life, since this thing uses AA's instead of a rechargeable battery like the bigger KT360B has. Now, just like the KT360B, you can also use this laser level in manual mode, where the self-leveling mechanism is off. And you simply do this by holding down the green button on the top with the laser in the locked position. This will allow you to rotate the laser or use it in any situations that you need to where it's not exactly level, which can come in very handy, and it's just a nice feature to have. The way that you activate pulse mode, which makes this compatible to be used with a laser level receiver, is by holding down the green button once the laser level is already turned on. You'll know that this is activated because you'll see a green flashing light on the top once it's in pulse mode. Now, my first thoughts on this laser level are just how easy and convenient it would be to always have around. I mean, it's so small, it's so light, it's so portable, but it functions just like any other laser level that I've used. And for that reason, I could see myself having this thing with me pretty much all the time. Now, while this doesn't feel quite as rugged as the bigger KT360B, the T03 still feels very well made and very solid. And I've dropped this thing quite a few times already, and it's been just fine. Again, I'm very impressed with how bright and visible the green lasers on this laser level are, and the self-leveling is also very accurate. This laser level also has a visibility range of 98 feet. I tested this laser level in the same space where I was 86 feet away from the other wall, and again, I had no issues whatsoever seeing the green laser. It was very bright and very visible, and I was really impressed. So here's a shot in that same space where I set up both of the Kaiweets laser levels and also the red crosshair DeWalt laser level, so that way you can see how all of them look 86 feet away side by side. Now, watching the video, it's not as easy to see, but the green lasers on the Kaiweets laser levels are quite a bit more visible and much easier to see than the red laser on the DeWalt crosshair laser level. Now, one thing that actually really surprised me is while both of these laser levels are very bright, it actually seemed like the smaller T03 was slightly brighter. So now let's go ahead and talk about the mount on this little guy. Now, the mount on the T03 is very easy to put on and take off, and I was really happy to see that they did go ahead and put 2 vertically arranged strong magnets on the back of this thing. Now, while the magnetic mount on the KT360B was one of its weaker features in my opinion, I'm actually really happy with the mount that they made for the smaller T03. This magnetic mount does a really good job at holding the laser level, and I find myself being able to use this in pretty much any situation, including magnetizing it to some conduit or to the corner of a wall, which just makes it that much more convenient to use. This laser can also be mounted to a tripod if you choose to do so. Now, I kind of already mentioned this, but because of the size, the weight, and the flexibility of this thing, I can really see myself reaching for this probably even more often than the bigger KT360B. And that's just because as a sustaining electrician, I'm constantly going to different places in the hospital, and this thing is just so portable and easy to bring with me and use in just about any situation. So for smaller sustaining projects, I'll probably be using the T03 most of the time, and for bigger projects where I'm doing a lot of layout, I'll probably be using the bigger KT360B. And again, that's because of the 360-degree laser and also the plumb dot, which comes in very handy in certain situations. Alright, so now let me tell you about the Kaiweets LR100G laser level receiver, which is currently going for only $70 on Amazon. Out of the box, the laser receiver comes with the laser, 2 AAA batteries, and a laser receiver rod clamp mount, and of course, a set of instructions. Unfortunately, there's no fancy zip-up soft case for this, but really, there's only 2 components, so you don't really need one. Now, the laser receiver turns on by pressing the green power button. If you want to illuminate the display, you can simply do so by holding down the volume button. There's a display in the front and a display on the back. Also in the front, you have a bubble level and the actual receiver for the laser level receiver. So by pressing the button that says beam, you can actually adjust the accuracy of the laser level receiver. If you see 1 bar, that's normal accuracy, and if you see 2 bars, that's high accuracy. Personally, I don't know why you wouldn't just always use it in the high accuracy mode, but if you want to use the normal lower accuracy mode, you can definitely do so. By pressing the volume button, you can cycle through the 3 different volume modes: volume low, volume high, and volume off. Now, I just want to say, prior to Kaiweets sending me this laser level receiver, I had never actually used one of these before, nor have I really ever had the need to use one before. But I will say, I found this thing to be very intuitive and easy to use. Now, if I'm ever working outside or in a very bright condition where I actually really can't see the line of the laser level, then I can definitely see myself using a laser level receiver like this more often. Now, this Kaiweets laser level receiver will work with any laser that has a pulse mode, and they actually advertise that it has a working range of up to 196 feet, which is 60 meters. So I used this receiver in the same room where I used both of the other laser levels from Kaiweets, where I was 86 feet away from the other wall, and this thing worked like a champ. So basically the way this works is when you have your laser in pulse mode and the laser is shining directly in the center of the receiver, you're going to get a constant beeping. Now, if the laser for some reason needs to be lowered, then you're going to hear a slow beep. And if the laser needs to be raised up slightly, then you're going to hear a fast beep. So even if you're very far away, you can still audibly hear the beeping and know exactly how high or how low to adjust the laser until you hear that constant beep and you know you're in the center. So in order to kind of test this thing out for myself, what I went ahead and did was I closed my eyes and I held the laser level receiver and I just tried finding the center of the laser line just using the audible beeps. And I found it to be really quick and easy to do that. Now, one thing that I found to be a little bit odd with the receiver is in some cases, if the laser was 4 or 5 feet away from the receiver, and even if it wasn't directly in the center, I would still get a constant beep as if it was in the center, even if it really truly wasn't. But really, I don't see that as an issue because if you're using a receiver only a few feet away, chances are you really don't need to be using it in the first place. This is more something that you're going to be using from a distance. Now, just before making this video, I did test this thing outside just to see how well it would work in direct sunlight when I could barely see the laser line itself. I couldn't even find the laser line before I used this thing. As soon as I turned it on, listened for the beeps, and then heard the constant tone, I looked a little bit closer and I was able to see that this was perfectly in the center of the laser line. So yeah, I was really impressed with it. All right, you guys, so as I'm wrapping up this video, I want to give you a few final thoughts. Like I said, I had never heard of Kaiweets before they reached out to me. I had never used one of these products before, but I have to say, after using these things for a while, after seeing the price point, how inexpensive they are, and just how great they work, I really am very pleasantly surprised. Overall, the one area that I'm just slightly disappointed is the magnetic laser level mount on the back of the KT360B. Like I said, in probably 90% of the situations, this thing is great and it works just fine and I'm confident using it. But there are some situations that I've used other laser levels before that I wish that I could use this thing in, and where I can use the smaller T03, but I also wish that I could use this thing into. But really not a big deal because in most situations, this mount is going to work just fine. So I think my biggest takeaway after reviewing these laser levels and the receiver from Kaiweets is that when you get these things, you're really getting a great bang for your buck. They work really great, they're very inexpensive, especially compared to the competitors, and you're getting green lasers, whereas typically you would pay a premium for that with other tool companies. So if you're a DIYer or a tradesman, any sort of professional that could use laser levels or a receiver, I would really recommend checking these things out, especially if you don't want to break the bank. All right, you guys, well, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and this is actually my first tool review video that I've ever done on this channel. So if you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up button and let me know down in the comments. And if you have other tools that you want to see me review, also let me know down in the comments. This channel is definitely normally geared towards helping you become an electrician if this is a career that you're interested in pursuing. So definitely check out my other videos. I do have an Instagram page if you want to follow me on that and keep up with me in my day-to-day life as a sustaining electrician at a hospital. And I also do have a Discord room called the Mad Electrician Lounge where we can talk about anything. If you guys have any questions, that's a really great place to reach out to me. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this content, if you found it to be useful, definitely subscribe too. It helps my channel to grow, lets the YouTube algorithm to know to recommend my channel to more people, and all that good stuff. Anyways, you guys, I really appreciate you watching this, especially if you stuck around till the end. Thank you so much. Have a good one.